Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I'm Master Marilyn, and I am delighted to be bringing this program. What is gratitude? Some of you may not be able to stay for this whole hour, so you can come back and you can scroll down and complete the hour. This question, what is gratitude, is one that I had in my awareness when I first started to flow this book, when I first started to write this book, Gratitude, a Key to Happiness. And when I was going to begin, I thought, this has to follow Master Sha's teachings. For those of you who are new, Master Sha is my teacher and has been for a number of years, and I am so blessed. And what we do follows his approach. He always starts with what, why, and how. So I knew this book had to start with what. What is gratitude? Having been an educator my entire adult life, I decided I would do some research. I was so disappointed, though, because I discovered that almost everything was what I would call a circular definition. It included the idea of gratitude or appreciation or being grateful in the definition. So that was not too helpful to me. And I also realized it would not be too helpful to others. And every now and again, I'll stop to say hello to those who have joined. So, Lisa, how delightful to have you as someone joining this series. You know, this is very special also. And those of you who watch it later, this will be true for you too. This is the first day in a new series that I will be doing on Facebook Live. The first of anything has very, very special blessings connected with it. So those of you who are part of this, either as it is happening live, or if you watch it later on, receive these special blessings. And the biggest, most special blessing will be blessings of gratitude from the soul of gratitude. So, to go to the question, what is gratitude? Each one of you just stop for a few moments and answer that question for yourself. What is gratitude? What does it mean? Most of us can say, I'm grateful for. Most of us can give some kind of a definition of grateful, but again, it's circular. I'm grateful for, I'm thankful for. So, what is gratitude? How would you express that? What is in your heart when you think of gratitude? How would you express that to someone else? What I'm going to share with you now is what I received from the divine. Because when I started to do this book, let's see. When I started to do this book, I knew I had to have a very, very good statement. What is gratitude. And I said to the divine, you know, I've done some research, but it hasn't helped. I need a really, really good definition of gratitude. And of course, the divine gave a beautiful definition of gratitude, which has served people globally. I have some such heart touching letters and comments and um, conversations I have had with students on how this definition and the whole book actually has changed their lives. But the whole book is connected to this definition. So, Lisa, you are wonderful. Lisa shared with 19 groups. So I'm going to stop right now and give Lisa a special thank you. Blessings. Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. And I will do this again on Wednesday at the same time, Friday at the same time. So between now and Wednesday, you can keep sharing. And what is beautiful to share is your experience of being on this program. What did it mean to you? What new insights? What new awareness? What healing? How has it benefited you to be on this program? Because, you know, everyone's life is very, very busy. So if we're going to give a whole hour to a particular teaching, we absolutely need to know the benefits. And the benefits of gratitude are absolutely huge. So what I'm going to ask at the end is I'm going to ask people to share, how did you benefit from being on this program with me? So the definition of gratitude, the very first word in that definition is unconditional. Gratitude is unconditional. We say that so much. Sometimes it's almost like a throwaway term. Parents use this in relationship to children. We say this in relationship to what we have deep in our hearts as our desire. The way that we would be treated would be unconditional. So it's something that is part of us, this yearning, this desire to connect with being unconditional. Gratitude is exactly that. It is unconditional, authentic. I think I need to add that word. Authentic gratitude is unconditional. Divine gratitude is unconditional. Tao gratitude is unconditional. Some of you might be thinking, oh goodness, well, I'm not divine, I'm not Tao, I can't do that. Wrong already. It is present for us. The divine is within us. We are divine presence. We are Tao presence. We just need to clear away some of the mindsets, some of the blockages, some of the attitudes. When we clear those away, then we participate in that divine presence that we are. We participate in that Tao presence that we are. and we participate fuller and fuller. It's totally possible. And I'm saying this to you because of my own experience and the experiences that others have shared with me. There is a mantra in this book that says, gratitude changes my life. So many people have come to me at retreats, especially when the book was first published. And they would come to me and say, "Oh, Master Marilyn, your book has changed my life." Because they read it and they did the practices. They connected with the definition. Gratitude is unconditional. That means we do not set boundaries. We do not set limits. Life is not a smorgasbord. It is not a buffet. Life is an entree. Everything is listed on the entree we receive. We do not get to pick and choose. Well, I'll have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'll have a little bit of the other thing. And I'll have this kind of an experience. I'll have this kind of an event. I will know these people. I'll not have to ever experience different kind of people. And all of these kind of things. It's just not the way life is. We meet countless kinds of people throughout the day. If we drive to work, we meet them on the road as other passengers or drivers. If we take public transportation, my goodness, there are so many people we experience. When we go shopping, it's not just the people in the line with us, but everyone in the store is someone who has entered into our experience, and we have entered into theirs. That is a very amazing and profound realization to have. We need to be grateful. We need to be unconditional. I wrote a little note to myself and I put it on a Post-it. The Post-it, is here on the little table where I have the computer. This task is blessing me, teaching me to open my heart more fully. We can adapt that. This task, this group of people, this experience is blessing me. It is helping me to open my heart more fully to be unconditional. The more unconditional we are, the more we experience the presence of divine, the presence of Tao, the more we experience ourselves as the presence of divine, as the presence of Tao. To be unconditional, no limits, no boundaries. Whatever comes to us, we are able to express our gratitude. Whatever happens, we are able to express gratitude. The example that Master Sha uses that really, really resonates with me is one of the teachings of Lao Tzu. And Lao Tzu used water as his example of what it means to be unconditional. Water has a source. Often it will be high in the mountains. And at its source, at the very beginning, it's pure, it's clear, it has a wonderful taste. Water actually does have a wonderful taste, real water. Many of us don't really experience that, but that's another topic. The water that comes from the source is so delicious. It really is. It would not be an effort at all to drink a sufficient amount of water during the course of a day. It's pure, it's clear. It has nutrients in it that it has received from Mother Earth in proper balance. As that water flows from its source to the sea, it goes through many, many different landscapes. Some of those landscapes are magnificent. And the water, I'm going to call it a river, the river will flow along, it will bubble along through a wonderful riverbed, over rocks. It will have life. There will be fish in the river, and wonderful things will grow along the sides of the river. It will nourish the land around it. And it continues to flow and to flow. It will also go through some landscapes where there is a huge accumulation of trash that has been thrown in the river, where there are toxins that have been dumped into the river, where some factories have not really paid very close attention to the need to care for the water. And so they've put things in the water. They've dumped things in the water that have actually stifled part of the life that existed in the water. And the water continues to flow. The water does not say, oh, yuck, ooh, I don't like this. This is so unpleasant. I'm not going there. That is not what the water does. The water flows and flows through all of the toxins, all of the trash, all that is unpleasant. And the water will also come to areas where the environment may have been turned into a recreational area, where families come, where children come and play in the water. Grown-ups come and swim in the water. People enjoy being in the water. It's safe. It's clean enough for people to actually get into the water. And the water continues to flow. And it flows and it flows. And it will go through areas where it is allowed to truly flow freely. It will go through areas where it has been limited and it's crunched. It has to sort of squeeze its way through all possibilities, so many possibilities. So it will continue to flow. It does not matter to the river. If it's beautiful, wonderful environment, it flows. If it's not pleasant, if it's toxic, it flows. If it's a recreational area where it has full possibility of being its wonderful self, it flows. If it's constricted and limited, it flows. It is unconditional. The river never says, oh, I'm not going there, or I'm going to jump right over this part and go to another part that's much more lovely. Does not do that. Sometimes the flow of the river is stopped, sometimes by nature, like beavers will make a dam, sometimes by people who have built dams so that the water can become a resource to many, many more people according to the planning. So there, and then it's released according to the planning. The river continues to flow. It is unconditional. The river does not have limits. The river does not have boundaries. The river does not say, I don't like having this great big huge dam put in my pathway and only being allowed to release small amounts of water at a time. It does not say, I do not like all of this garbage that's been dumped into me, and so I'm not going to come here anymore. It doesn't do that. It is unconditional. So this gives you an idea. Gives you an idea of what that word unconditional means. We could really spend many, many days connecting with the wisdom of what unconditional means. And I just saw a beautiful comment that was added. What wisdom? Wish I could be as faithful as water. You know what? It's possible. It is possible. That's our journey. That is our journey. And the more we connect with gratitude, the more we can connect with what it means to be grateful. The more we practice gratitude, the more we are gratitude. So it is possible. We can all grow. The thing of it is, we will grow in gratitude. None of us can say, I've got this one mastered. I've truly reached 100% on it. And maybe we have at this level, but you know, they're like infinite levels. So the only time we can say, I have this 100% perfect, complete on all levels, is when we have completed our Tao journey and we have melded with Tao. So until then, we are in the process of being more grateful, more unconditional. So I'm so happy that you added that comment, Lisa, because it's important that we realize that this is a process and we have our entire lifetime to improve day by day, minute by minute, actually. And we do this by practicing being unconditional, being gratitude, being grateful. A wonderful practice is chanting. And we'll do a little bit of this. We'll do a little bit of practice later. Because what I want to do is I want to also mention the other words in this definition of what I think is going to happen is maybe, Heaven just told me this, thank you, Heaven, that every Monday to take one of the words from the definition of gratitude and reflect on it, do sharing on it. So that might be what we do every Monday, because truly, to be unconditional is our task. It is our task to have no boundaries, no limits. Because you know what? When we are unconditional, that means that we have transformed our mindsets, our attitudes. No, let me change that. We've transformed negative mindsets, negative attitudes, negative beliefs. We have transformed our ego, and we've released attachments. That is very beautiful. So being unconditional has so many benefits. It means also that we have emotional balance, we have mental clarity, we have good relationships, and more and more and more. It's only one word, unconditional, but there is so much held within that one word. And what I said earlier is really true. It would be possible to really connect with the significance and the power and the meaning of unconditional for many, many, many days. This could be a whole workshop just all by itself, the word unconditional. In fact, several years ago, I did a workshop on gratitude, and it was a whole weekend. The weekend was focused on the definition of gratitude. That is what we did. And it still was not complete. And that makes a lot of sense, because this is a definition that was given to me by the divine. So it has divine possibilities. I think that's so exciting. It's so wonderful to know that this is what we are invited to, and that we can always experience more and more. We can always be more and more. As that happens for each of us, then it will happen for all of those around us. And I notice that Johnny has joined us. How delightful. So Johnny's family, some of his family members are experiencing Master Shunya right now, who's in Trinidad to do a workshop. So it's lovely to have you on Facebook, Johnny. Um, so that's an idea. After this program, after this session, continue to reflect on the significance and the power of being unconditional. What continue to reflect on what does that mean in my life? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop for a brief moment. And those of you who would like to receive a very special blessing, which would have a small honoring fee, to help you to become more unconditional, can message me. When you message me, I will respond, and I have what Master Sha calls a fachi. So I'm going to show you. It looks, like a bracelet, but it is a special way of blessing a situation, an event, a person, yourself. And Master Sha put a blessing on this fachi for gratitude. It is such a high frequency and vibration that he needed to put it on the fachi, the bracelet. And he did this for many of us, many of the master teachers, because physically we are not strong enough to hold such a high frequency and vibration in our bodies. So he put it on the fachi. Master Sha is very, very creative. He's so clever. He wanted to give us these high frequencies, these high vibrational blessings. And so the way that he can do that is through these fachis. So if you, those of you who know that this would be so wonderful for you to receive a blessing to help you to become more unconditional, to help you become more grateful, to be the presence of unconditional response to life, to be the presence of gratitude, just message me. That's very easy. And then when this program is over, I will check the messages and get back in touch with you. I'll communicate with you to set up a time when that can happen. And there's a message coming through right now. So beautiful. That's very exciting. The next word in the definition of gratitude is appreciation. Now that might sound circular, and I thought when I received this, gratitude is unconditional appreciation, and I thought, well, okay, appreciation and grateful sound very similar, but then as I reflected on it, I thought, whoa, that word appreciation also has such huge significance. To help us to understand appreciation, sometimes it's helpful to go the opposite direction, to depreciate. We've all heard stories of people who have purchased a car. And as they're driving the car off the parking lot, where they purchased their brand new, beautiful car, it has lost value. It has depreciated. It happens so quickly. And losing value in some cases, accelerates. It's amazing how much value a car can lose in just 1 year. So that gives us an idea. That's what happens when something depreciates. It loses value. To appreciate means something gains value. It gains value. When I am grateful for the events in my life, the people in my life, the things in my life, whatever it is, gains value. I'll use the example of flowers. Right now, where I am, there are 2 African violet plants. They are blooming magnificently. They are beautiful. They are exquisite. I love these flowers. And it's taken them a whole year to have the blossoms. So having to wait so long, putting them in the proper light, giving them the proper amount of water and nourishment has made it possible for them to be positively gorgeous. Every time I look at these flowers, I love them. I just love them. I am so grateful for them. And every time I look at them and I am grateful again, their value increases. I was grateful the first time I saw them blooming, that every time I look at them, that gratitude, that experience grows. And because the flowers have a soul, they have Shen, Qi, Jing. Shen, soul, heart, mind. Qi, energy. Jing, matter. Their Shen, Qi, Jing expands. Their heart opens more fully. I'm positively convinced they become more beautiful. At least they certainly look like that. And they last for a long, long time. The blossoms, they just continue to bloom and bloom and bloom. It's so lovely. This is appreciation. This is an example. It's not the whole complete wisdom on appreciation, but it gives you an idea of what appreciation means. That I take such delight in whoever, whatever is in front of me, that its magnificence, its beauty, its heart opens more fully, and my heart opens more fully. I become the presence of appreciation. So that is what I will radiate to every person, event, situation, or thing that I meet throughout my day. It will make such a difference. It does make such a difference. Our day becomes a series of people, events, situations, circumstances that will delight us. And that delight, that experience of delight, adds value to whatever it is, whoever it is, and it expands my possibility of being able to respond in that way to everyone and everything. So some of you might be thinking to yourself, Esther Marilyn, I am not too sure about this. There are some things I experienced in my day that I do not delight. I do not delight in them. That's okay. It's really okay. Thursday of this week, from 7:30 at night until 9 o'clock at night Pacific time, I will do a session at the East West Bookstore in Mountain View, California, on 5 steps to gratitude. Because it's true. It is absolutely true. There are things that we meet. There are people, events, situations, circumstances that we meet during our day that, first off, our first response is not delight. We have to be honest. We absolutely have to be honest. If we're not honest, we can't be grateful. Won't work. So we need steps. And when we use these steps to gratitude, we can become more and more able to appreciate whatever is present to us, whoever is present to us. And just like being unconditional, it's a process. So allow yourself the time, the opportunities, the experiences to move the process along. That's what is important, that we always will be moving along in the process of becoming more unconditional, of having greater appreciation. The next word in the definition of gratitude is reverence. This is a word that sometimes we do not use too much, at least in the Western world. I really am not familiar enough with the Eastern cultures. I know that my experience, say like living in India, my time in Malaysia, my time in Singapore, my experience of people in the Asian cultures was an experience of receiving and being surrounded by an atmosphere of reverence. It was really quite beautiful. So for some people, this might come much more naturally. In the Western world, we almost have as a point of pride to be irreverent, requiring whatever or whoever to sort of prove themselves. This word is very special, though. To have reverence means that I receive whoever and whatever is in front of me as sacred. So it's like someone or something has been placed in front of me, and I receive it as sacred. I recognize that whoever it is, whatever it is the presence of the sacred. And I receive it exactly that way. When I receive whoever or whatever as the presence of the sacred, I have experienced and expressed reverence. That is what reverence means. And just think about it. When we respond to life that way, it becomes so, so different. There's the saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. When we see beauty around, and it's in the eye of the beholder because we see out there what is in here. So when we have beauty within us, we see beauty around us. And our world can be filled with beauty. The same is true for reverence. We have the presence of the divine within us, the Tao within us, the sacred within us. We are that presence. And so whatever or whoever we look at is that presence. We recognize that everyone and everything, whatever comes to us, is the presence of the sacred. So we become surrounded by, we are in an atmosphere, a frequency and vibration of the sacred all the time. Living this way has amazing benefits. One of the most obvious is health. Our health will improve because our frequency and vibration will align with beauty, with added value, with the sacred. All of this is so positive. It releases the flow of energy, the flow of light. When energy and light are flowing freely, we experience health. It's amazing. We can become much healthier simply by becoming more grateful. So amazing. I'm going to just quickly refer to the next two. I was going, and I'll check each Monday. I will check and find out, is this what heaven wants? Does heaven want to have a much greater reflection on these terms? Because as I said, each one could be a weekend all by itself. So the next one is respect. So when we show respect, very simply, what that have you noticed that all of these words are connected to one another? There's like a sequence. It's sort of like You know, when you were in college and you took English 1A and then English 1B and 1C and 1D. I don't know if we went that far, but anyway, let's just pretend. I know there was English 1A in many places. So it's like that. The first part, unconditional, is gratitude 1A. Appreciation is gratitude 1B. Or unconditional is gratitude 101. Appreciation is gratitude 102. Reverence is gratitude 103. Respect is gratitude 104. They're in a sequence. And when we grow in the first one, the other ones will open up. It's the readiness. The first one is the readiness for the second one. Second one is readiness for the third one. The third one, first, second, and third are readiness for the fourth one, which is respect. Which means I receive it. I'm not just passive about things and, oh, I'm surrounded by beauty. This is so wonderful. I appreciate it. No, it's not enough. I receive it. I respond. I do something. Respect. I show in my actions, my attitudes, my behaviors, my thinking that I am unconditional. I appreciate. I have reverence. I demonstrate this. And demonstrating it is respect. All of this all together, when we live all of this all together, we have joy. So that's the total definition. The total definition is gratitude is unconditional appreciation, reverence, respect, and joy. When we live those qualities, we do experience joy. Joy is the balanced emotion for the fire element. The authority organ for the fire element is the heart. And one of the students recently told me that the frequency and vibration of gratitude and the frequency and vibration of love are very similar. That makes complete sense to me because we become more loving. Our heart opens. When we are unconditional, our heart opens. It's automatic. Like right now, I'm sitting down, my knees are bent. I cannot do a thing about my knees being bent. That's just what happens when I sit down. When I stand up, my knees straighten out. It's automatic. So when I am unconditional, when I appreciate, have reverence and respect, automatically I will be joyful. It happens. It cannot be avoided. When I stand up, my knees will straighten out. It just happens automatically. The same is true for gratitude. When I am grateful, I will be joyful. My heart will be open. I will be more loving. Many people want to be more loving. This is a beautiful and an easy way to become more loving. So I'm going to bring this part to a close. And I am so grateful for your participation. And I look forward to many, many, many people participating on Wednesday. I know that there was short notice for this, and many people can watch this later on. They can just scroll down and find it and make comments later on. Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. Um, so, a reminder that Thursday of this week at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, I will do a session at East West Bookstore in Mountain View, California. This session will also be on Facebook. So make sure that you save that time and tell lots of people. Have them make a commitment to be on Facebook Live if they're far away. It is very, very important to have lots of people worldwide participating through Facebook and have people in the room physically. The room is small, so a lot of people are not able to fit in, but the internet is global. So when there are many participants, what that will say to the East West Bookstore community is the teachings from Master Sha Tao Healing Center in San Francisco are important because look at this. People from all over the world come to benefit. People from the Bay Area come to benefit. So those of you who know people in the Bay Area, please tell them about this. Tell them to make sure they come. It will be well worth their time. There will be special blessings for everyone. This weekend also, I will be doing an Open Spiritual Channels practicum on Sunday. So that you can sign up for at Master Sha Tao Healing Center, San Francisco. You can go to the website for Master Sha and then find the section for the center in San Francisco and sign up there. So I look forward to having many, many people participating on Thursday and again on, well, Friday night's a free event, and then Sunday is the actual workshop. So it has been lovely to be with you. Please continue to share your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Bye-bye.